In this lesson, we'll cover an overview of project-driven supply chain concepts. Project-driven supply chain, or PDSC, integrates several Oracle supply chain and financial cloud products to provide an end-to-end solution for executing supply chain activities in the context of projects. It's designed to be flexible enough to support a range of manufacturing and asset-intensive business processes. If you need to extend beyond what's delivered out of the box, you can use the enhanced file-based data integration template and REST services. For example, you could import sales orders that originate from a project-specific quote in an external quote management system, such as CPQ, and then continue processing them within the project context. You can tailor the project-driven supply chain solution to fit your business. For example, as a contract manufacturer, you can manage multiple manufacturing contracts in a single plant and keep inventory and production operations separated by customer without creating separate inventory organizations. As an original equipment manufacturer, you can bundle design work and post-sale services with a product on a project so that you can track cost and revenue in one place. If you work in an asset-intensive industry, you can build and maintain assets through projects to support more accurate budgeting and cost tracking. These are just a few examples, but they show the range of scenarios PDSC can support. Overall, the solution covers most project-related processes across inventory management, procurement, sales, manufacturing, and maintenance. Project-driven supply chain includes capabilities across both supply chain and project management. On the supply chain side, it lets you segregate and manage project-specific inventory. It supports receiving, picking, shipping, and transferring inventory in a project context. It also supports purchasing project-specific inventory, running project-specific manufacturing, and performing project-specific maintenance. If you need project visibility and operations without full project accounting, you can also run a project-striped supply chain without enabling project's financials. On the project management side, it helps you capture project-driven material and manufacturing costs from supply chain execution. It also supports capturing and capitalizing assets maintenance costs that are incurred through project-driven supply chain activities. You enable project-driven supply chain by opting into the features within the manufacturing and supply chain materials management offerings. After you opt in, you use the Manage Inventory Organization task to enable each inventory organization for project-driven processing. You then use the Manage Default Expenditure Types task to set default expenditure types for the supply chain transactions and objects that capture project details. These defaults can be defined separately for the work order header, labor resources, non-labor resources, and material. You also need to enable project-driven supply chain for transactions at each inventory organization, because this setup is done independently per organization. Finally, every inventory organization that will use project-driven supply chain must be classified as a project expenditure organization by using the Manage Project Organization Classifications task. Details of the solution are in feature-specific release training modules. The list of those modules appears on this slide. Additionally, links for these training module documents are provided in your student guide. Along with this training, you can find more detailed information in the product guides available on Oracle's Help Center. For convenience, the name of the implementation guide document, along with a user perspective, has been listed in the table on the slide. And that concludes this lesson. This lesson serves as the conclusion for the Order Management and Fulfillment Implementation course. During this course, we introduced the order management and fulfillment process. We also covered how to set up the products used to implement that process. Finally, we walked through the core order lifecycle, including initial order creation, scheduling, pricing, order processing, fulfillment, and shipping. In this course, we looked at the end-to-end capabilities of the broader order-to-cash flow, and we focused on how order management and fulfillment portions of that flow. We spent most of our time on Oracle Order Management, including order capture, processing constraints, holds, approvals, pause, and jeopardy handling. We also touched on Oracle Configurator for product configuration and Oracle Pricing for pricing and manual adjustments. On the execution side, we reviewed Oracle Inventory Management for pricing and Oracle Shipping for shipping execution, trade compliance, and integration with transportation management. By the end of the course, you should have a high-level understanding of how to implement these applications to support the order-to-cash flows we've discussed. If desired, you can perform this optional practice that has been provided in your student guide. In the practice, you create and submit a sales order for a standard item.